Good morning, students. Welcome to online teaching session of Academic Word School, Bemitra. From today we are going to start this new chapter, Determinants. The concept of determinant is very closely associated with the concept of matrices. When it is so closely associated with concept of matrices, so obviously the origin of matrices must be connected with the origin of determinants. So what was that origin? So before I come upon this question, let me first brief you about today's plan. Today, in this lecture, we are going to learn these following things. We will begin with introduction of determinants and its significance. How do we denote this determinant in mathematics? Notation part of that we will be discussing, followed by expansion of determinant of order 2 and of order 3. How to expand these determinants, that is what we will be discussing, and then we will take up some question to solve, to understand the concept in better manner. And how do we understand in better manner? When we apply these concepts in different situations and solve the problem and get the correct answer. So let's begin today's class. So as I said that the origin of determinant is very closely associated with the origin of matrices. What was that? We in very first lecture, if you remember, I said, if you are given simultaneous linear equation, system of simultaneous linear equation in several variables, then how to solve it? And then if we go by our old methods, which are very lengthy, it becomes very difficult. So we started from that background and then we introduce matrices. Let's begin in the same manner. So what we are doing today, we are taking up system of linear equations in two variables, x and y. a1x plus b1y equal to c1, a2x plus b2y is equal to c2. These are our two equations in x and y. They are called linear equation. Why? Because the corresponding graph of these two equations is a straight line. That's the one reason. And second one is highest degree is 1 for both the variables. This is the other reason. Why do we call these two equations as a linear equation? Because they are written together. That is how we are calling system of simultaneous linear equation. Now, if you recall, in grade 10th, you learned three conditions to get the solution. I hope you are able to recall. What was the first condition? The very first condition was for getting unique solution. Please understand this point very carefully. So when we are going to discuss this determinant, this aspect of getting unique solution for given system of equation will be always dominant. It will be always dominant. We will be looking for the cases where we can get unique solution. Look at this. So you learn that these two linear equations will have unique solution provided a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2. What does it mean? If I cross multiply a1 into b2 should not be equal to a2 into b1. Or shift this side, it will become a1 b2 minus a2 b1 should not be equal to 0. If it is not equal to 0, what will be that? It will be a number. Please remember, it will be a non-zero number. Remember that for unique solution, this value, which is a non-zero number, is going to play a very crucial role. over here. How? Look at this. The same system of linear equation we can also write in form of matrices. How to write? Look at this. We can write it as A1, B1, A2, B2, and then what is this? These are nothing but these are the coefficients of x and y used in these two equations A1, B1, A2, B2. So you can also call this part as matrix of coefficients. And from where we are getting coefficient? Coefficients we are getting from these two equations. So coefficient matrix multiplied by x into y. Please see that. What is this? This is a matrix made out of variables used in these two equations. X and y are unknowns, or they are called variables. So this is variables matrix. And then we are equating this with C1, C2. Please look at this. How to ensure that what we have written, it is representing the same system of simultaneous linear equation. How to decide that? Just simply multiply. Look at this. A1, so you will multiply this row by this column, you will get A1 x plus B1 y. This row by this, now this row by this, so you will get A2 x plus B2 y. I have got this one. This is equal to C1, C2. If two matrices are equal, corresponding element has to be equal. Look at this. A1x plus B1y should be equal to C1, which is your first equation. A2x plus B2y is equal to C2, which is your second equation. I hope you got this point. So the system of linear equation can be expressed in form of matrices. This is what I wanted to explain over here. Now after writing in this form, you can say, let's say this is my matrix A, capital A. This is your variable matrix, let's say it is capital X. And over here this is scalar matrix because these two are scalars. So we can write, let's say this is equal to B. So what we have written? A into X equal to B. A is a coefficient matrix, capital X is a variables matrix, and B is a scalars matrix where we are using the scalars. Now the point is, this A, what is it that is? This is written A1, B1, A2, B2. This is a matrix made out of these coefficients. What is matrix? Matrix doesn't have its own value. Matrix is simply arrangement of numbers. So now, if I look at this very carefully, what is written? If I multiply A1 by B2 and A2 by B1, look at this, A1, B2, A2, B1. A1, B2, A2, B1. Only thing is how to get the minus sign. Otherwise, we are getting everything. So you can say that this A1, A2, B1, B2, this is the arrangement of this number. Now please see that this is representing a non-zero value. It means this arrangement, if somehow we can use a new notation, new symbol, then from here we can get the same expression. How? First, let's say I am using this parallel lines. Please understand, this parallel line doesn't stand for matrices, because for matrices you have used a square bracket. I am using a new symbol. Why new symbol? Because under these two parallel lines, the way we are going to define operations will be different. How we are going to define? We are saying that, let's say, when we are moving from top to bottom, from left to right, product of these two are, let's say, they are considered positive. What does it mean? It means A1, B2. When we are going from left to right, from bottom to top side, means this way, this is considered as, this is considered as negative, this one is positive. This is negative. So you are getting minus A2, B1. I hope you got this thing. The arrangement of coefficients is arranged in such a manner, directly you are taking from the square matrix, but it is not a square matrix. This is a new system we are defining. The arrangement of these numbers in this square form written between two parallel lines stands for determinant corresponding to matrix A. Please see that this stands for a determinant A. And how do we represent? We represent it by, because we are writing numbers between parallel lines. So what is A? A is nothing but it is a square matrix. So you can say, if you are given a square matrix, corresponding determinant you can achieve simply by taking all element as it is given, writing those between two parallel lines. Once again remember, this symbol what we are using, it is not absolute value function. It's not absolute value function. It's very different function. We call this as determinant. So determinants are also represented by capital, the sign of triangle, or this is also written as determinant A, or you can write it as, so any form you can use to represent the determinant. What is determinant? Over here, as per this arrangement, if you see, determinant A is a corresponding elements of a square matrix when they are arranged between two parallel lines in the same order as it was given. This new arrangement stands for determinant. Now look at this. Over here, this is first row, this is second row, this is first column, this is second column. So its order is 2. So 2 by 2, you can say that. So what I have explained? I have explained that this square matrix, if I transform into similar corresponding determinant, you can get that. And if I define the operation A1, B2 with plus sign, A2, B1 with minus sign, then we are getting this value, and this should be non-zero. Now over here we can say the value of this determinant, as long as it is non-zero, the given system of equation will have unique solution. So now you can understand the importance of this new arrangement which we are calling as a determinant. I hope this part is clear to you. Now let me define the same concept in a slightly different manner. So we are dealing right now with determinants. If somebody asks you, define determinant, how will you define? This is one way. There is one more way, method. You might have learned in grade 11th, there was a chapter, relation and function. I hope you have understood that chapter. Let me just connect with that. There are two sets we have taken. We are right now trying to define determinants. Determinants, we are trying to define this. Let's say this is a set represented by capital M, and this is another set, let's say it is defined by capital N. When we are saying this is a set, obviously it must have some elements. So what are the elements of this M? So I am telling you, this is a collection of, you can say, this is collection of all square matrices. All square matrices are kept in this set. And what is here? this is collection of numbers. In this we have taken only numbers. Fine. Suppose I have taken this matrix, square matrix A. Fine. And then we are defining this function f from m to n. Understand? What we are saying, f is a function from m to n, from set of square matrix to set of numbers. Now, how come we can define? It's not possible, because matrices, they are not simply numbers, they are arrangement of numbers. Just hold for a minute. We have defined this, but how it is defined? So what we are doing, this square matrix, when we are taking f of a, basically this f of a stands for corresponding determinant. This means this part stands for determinant a. Got that? f of a is equal to k. Every determinant has a unique value. We discussed before that. This means this has unique value. What is that value? It is a number. So f of corresponding determinant has a number value. So you are connecting this with a value which is a number. If it happens, then this f stands for determinant. F stands for a determinant defined from set of square matrices to a set of number. This is another way of defining the same concept. Now let's take up some simple question how to apply this concept. So first we will begin with order 2. So let's we take very simple question. There is a determinant of order 2, 4, minus 5, 1. This determinant is given. Let's say it is represented by determinant A. We can write by this, or we can also write by determinant A, or if you feel we can also use the symbol triangle. Triangle also represents corresponding determinant. So this we want to find out. How to find out? The rule is same. What we have to do? In 2 cross 2 determinant, when you are moving from top to bottom, from left to right, top to bottom, its sign is always taken positive. Clear? So 2 into 1. So you can write 2 into 1. Its sign, no sign means plus sign. And when we are moving from left to right, from bottom to top, it is always considered as negative. So I am writing negative, minus, and what are the two numbers? Here number itself is negative. So put it in bracket, because two operations we cannot write together. We have to segregate it by bracket. Into 4. Write down that 4. If you simplify, it becomes 2 minus 5 into 4, 20, minus 20, it becomes plus 20. If you simplify, this is 22, which is not equal to 0. It may be 0 in some cases, we are not going to discuss that part, but over here, the value of this 2 by 2 determinant is 22. This is the way how we have to expand it. Take up one more question. This was our first question. Take up second question. In second question, let's say the determinant A is given by, this is given by cos theta minus sin theta, and then sin theta, and over here it is given cos of theta. Please understand, we have taken a determinant of order 2, where in first row elements are cos theta and minus sin theta. In second row elements are sin theta and cos theta. If you have to expand it, what will you do? The rule is same. Cos theta into cos theta. You will write cos theta into cos theta. No sign means plus sign. Now we are going from this side. You will be writing minus sin theta into minus sin theta. Sin theta into minus sin theta. So cos theta into cos theta becomes cos square theta. Sin theta into sin theta is sin square theta. With this minus sign it will become plus. So you get sin square theta, and you have learned this identity in lower classes. Sin square theta plus cos square theta is always 1. So its value becomes 1. I hope you have understood this question also. So in this, when you are given 2 by 2 determinant, how to expand, how to get the value, I hope you have done this. In your assignment, similar questions are given. You need to simply find out values of this. So we have discussed till now. This I have given. Significance also I explained. Notation we have discussed. Now we are discussing this expansion of determinant of order 2 we have done. Fine? And some problem based upon that we have done. Now we are going to focus upon this determinant of order 3. How to do that? And over here you will realize that this is the true problem. This is what we have to actually learn, because from CBSE point of view, there are many questions which are asked from this part here, when matrices determinant are given of order 3. So let's discuss that part. Now what I am going to do, I am taking very simple equations. Let's say equations are given by a1x plus b1y plus c1z is equal to d1, a2x plus b2y plus c2z is equal to d2, and then a3x plus b3y plus c3z is equal to d3. These are 3 simultaneous linear equations in variable x, y and z. I hope you are getting that here. Now the way we have written in case of x and y, can we write this system of linear equation also in the form of matrices? Can we express this system of linear equation in form of matrices? So answer is yes, we can write. Now next question, how do we write? Look at this. First take up all coefficients. All coefficients. Write down a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3. This is my coefficients matrix. Multiplied by x, y, z. This is my variables matrix. And then comes the scalar matrix d1, d2, d3. Look at this. The same system of linear equation can be expressed in this form. Now if you ask how to ensure that it is representing same thing, you can apply that. This is a 3 by 3 and this is 3 by 1 and this is also 3 by 1. If I multiply these two, can you multiply? Look at this. Number of column 3, number of row, therefore we can multiply these two. So what will be order of new matrix? It will be 3 cross 1. And right side is also 3 cross 1. 3 cross 1 means there are 3 rows and only 1 column. So if we multiply, what will come? Look at this. a1x plus b1y plus c1z. That will be first row. a2x plus b2y plus c2z. This will be my second row. a3x plus b3y plus c3z. It will be my third row. If I equate with this, you will be getting the same thing. Now question is, why are we writing in this form? The sole reason to write in this form is to ensure that are we getting unique solution. Whether we will get unique solution or not That is what we want to confirm. Now, please understand, this is a matrix, correct? So if I say that A is my matrix, what is that? A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. This is my matrix. What we have done in case of determinant of order 2, this is nothing but simply extension of the same concept. We are extending the concept. Fine. So from 2 cross 2, now we are moving to 3 cross 3. So if this is a matrix of order 3 cross 3, what will be corresponding determinant? So you will say that determinant A will be nothing but A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. This will be my 3 cross 3 determinant. As you said in that case, which case? In 2 by 2 case. If corresponding determinant is non-zero, given system of linear equation will have unique solution. The concept remains same. In the same way we can say that as long as this is non-zero, this system of equation will have unique solution. If this is a non-zero, this will have unique solution. Now question is how to proceed, how to expand this. This is 3 cross 3. In 2 cross 3, just simply we multiplied, in a cross direction and we got the answer. But how do we solve this one? So hold for a minute. We are going to expand, and this is where you have to have patience. Learn this expansion of 3 cross 3 determinant very carefully. Why? Because this is what we are going to apply. So let's see this. How to expand a 3 cross 3 determinant. So I am writing once again this part. Determinant A is given by A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. I have written the same thing. Fine. Now the question is, how can we expand this? How can we say that whether it is equal to 0 or it is non-zero? How to prove that? How to find out that value? As we said, determinant stands for a unique value, for a unique number. How to find out that number? So in that case, what we are going to do, we are going to expand it. And remember, this rule by which we are going to expand, you have to observe very carefully. Why? Because I might be doing for one of the rows. It doesn't mean that you have to follow the same. You can apply the rule in the similar manner for other rows or for columns also. It is not necessary that this rule, the way I am applying, this is the final rule. You can make a modification in that with little bit restrictions. What are the restrictions? I am going to explain that. Look at this. So value of this determinant A is given by, I am expanding about first row. So if I say that where is my first row? This is your first row. This is your second row and this is your clear. Similarly, you can say that this is your first column, second column, third column. So now this determinant I am expanding about row 1. So when I am saying that about row 1, I am going to consider elements of first row 1 by 1 in certain order I am going to take. So how do we write? Watch this. So I am expanding about this. So to expand this, what you have to write? First, minus 1 to the power. I am expanding about first row. You are taking first element. So this element belongs to first row and first column. So what I am going to write? Minus 1 to the power, the number of row plus number of column. In which row and in which column it belongs, write down that and add this. This is the first step. Multiplied by that element A1 and then leave the row and the column in which it belongs. Leave the row and the column in which it belongs. So if you drop this part, what is left? You can see that you are left with 2 cross 2 determinant. Write down that. So I am writing B2, then B3, C2, C3. I have written this. This is only one part we have written. Similarly, you have to write for B1. So what we will write? Plus minus 1 to the power, in which row and which column it belongs. It is the first row, second column. So first row plus second column. Then take that element B1 and then leave this row and this column and this row. What is left? Write down that. So I am writing A2, A3 and then C2, C3. Clear? We have written about B1. Now we have to write about C1. So we will be writing in the same manner. Minus 1 to the power, first row, third column, 1 plus 3. Then that element itself, C1, and then write down, after leaving that row and that column in which that element belongs, what is left? This part is left. So write down as it is. So this is A2, A3, B2 and then B3. What we have done? This is the rule to expand any determinant of order 3. Again I am explaining. So first you have to decide which row or which column you have to take. So in this case we have considered first row. After deciding the row, what you have to take? You have to go element wise, number wise. So first we took A1. How to write? This is fixed. Minus 1 to the power. What is the power? The number in which this element belongs. Where it belongs? The number you have to write. Which number? The number of row and the number of column. This element belongs to your first row and first column. First row, first column, first row, first column. They are added. Then multiply by that element, and after that just leave the row and column in which that element belongs. After that, what is left? Whatever is left, write down as it is in determinant form. Again, you have to write about this. What is the rule? Minus 1 to the power 1 plus 2. Why 1 plus 2? Because this element belongs to first row and second column. So we are adding these two. Then that element itself, and then leave that column and the row. After that, whatever is left, just take as it is. Similarly about the C1 also. We have written this, and then now you can see that these are 2 by 2 determinants, and you have learned already how to expand it. So write down very quickly the value of this. Minus 1 to the power 2, it will remain. Power is even, it will remain plus. So you are getting A1, B2 into C3 minus B3 C2. Now minus 1 to the power, this is odd number. So this minus will remain here. It will give you B1 A2 C3 minus A3 C2. This will become plus. Why? This is even number. Plus C1 A2. Then comes B3 minus A3 B2. Now look at this. This is the value of this determinant. I have expanded it about first row. Now this is the assignment for you. You have to expand about second row. Then see that if I expand it about third row, what will happen? After writing that, you will notice that collect all the positive terms in one bracket, negative terms in another bracket, and you will notice that whether you are expanding about this R1, R2 or R3, those values will remain same. It means it is independent of the number of row about which you are expanding. It's not only that row, even if you expand about this first column, second column, third column, the value will remain same, and that is how it becomes very, very important. Now, from here you can also make out one very critical observation. If this is the way we have to solve, now let's say you are given numbers in this. So what is a better idea? Let's say if I have given some numbers. So if after practice you will notice that wherever zeros are there, you will try to expand about that row or column. Why? Because the moment you are getting 0, it will make everything 0. Rest of the things 0. It becomes very simple. So let's solve one question and then we will be going through our assignment. So for practice, let's take up one question. The question is, two, 3, minus 2, 1, 2, 3, minus 2, 1, minus 3. Let's see, this is our determinant given. And question is, find out value of this determinant. So let's say I am representing by this. This is my determinant A. I have to expand. You decide about which row or column you want to expand. I am going by the same rule. Let's say I want to expand it about this R1. So the rule remains same. What we will do? Determinant A is equal to, the rule is minus 1 to the power, I am expanding about this. This is first row, first column, 1 plus 1. That element itself, and then leave this, whatever is left, just note down 2, 3, 1, minus 3. I hope you are understanding this. Now expand about this 3. So we will say that plus minus 1 to the power 1 plus 2. Why 1 plus 2? First row, second column. First row, second column. We have written that element itself. So write down that element itself and then leave this part. If I leave this part, these two things are left. Write down 1, minus 2, 3 and then minus 3. Then plus, now we are expanding about this last one. So what will you write? Minus 1 to the power 1 plus 3. Why 1 plus 3? First row, third column. That is written. Write down that element itself, minus 2, and then what you have to write? Leave this row, leave this column, whatever is left, write down that 1, 2, minus 2, 1. We have expanded this. Only expansion takes time. Otherwise, after that, it doesn't take time. Simply you have to multiply and then simplify. So let's write down this. Minus 1 to the power, this is even number, so minus will get absorbed. You are getting 2 and then now expand this. 2 into minus 3, it will give you minus 6. So minus 6, 1 into 3, minus, with minus sign you have to write. Then now see over here, this is giving you minus sign. Why minus sign? Because this number is odd. So you will say minus 3 and then 1 into minus 3, it is giving you minus 3. Minus 2 into 3 is minus 6 and another sign comes of minus from this side. So minus will become plus. So it becomes plus 6. Then come to this one plus this minus 1 to the power. This is even number. So again this minus sign will get absorbed. So you are left with this minus 2. So minus 2 and then we have to simplify this 2 by 2 determinant. 1 into 1 minus 2 into 2 minus 4 and then one more minus sign will make it plus. Minus 2 into 2 is minus 4 and minus of minus 4 will become plus 4. So we are left with minus 6 minus 3 minus 9 into 2 minus 18. This will give you plus 3 into minus 3 will give you minus 9. Then 4 plus 1 5 into 2 it becomes minus 10. Now if we add, it will become, look at this, this becomes 19 and 18, 18 2 ja 36 plus 1 36. So finally you are left with minus 36. So this is the answer for this determinant. Now I want to give you one very simple question. I am not going to solve it. You have to solve it. But I'll give you clue how to solve it. This is second question. Determinant A is given by, remember I am not going to solve it, but then you will be surprised how these properties makes the solution very simple. The question is 3 minus 1 minus 2, 0, 0, minus 1, 3, 5, 0. And this is your 3 cross 3. Now, if I ask you, expand this, find out value of this. If I ask you, so some of you may try to apply the same rule. Don't apply that here. Look at this very carefully. In place of expanding this about first row, if you expand along second row, this element both are 0. So what will happen? This element, these two elements are becoming 0. So this whole product will become 0, and the only part which will be left is this one. And therefore, you can save your time and you can simplify this in much easier way. So this is what we wanted to discuss. We have done some questions on this. So my dear students, today what is it that we have learned? We discussed about determinants, its origin, from where it is originated. We discussed that its importance. We discussed if corresponding determinant is non-zero, it ensures that the given system of linear equation will have unique solution. This is its significance. Then how to denote it. Then we learn how to expand 2 cross 2 determinant or 3 cross 3 determinant. Now another point, in our curriculum we are supposed to learn 2 by 2 or 3 by 3, not beyond that. This is the limitation imposed by CBSE. This part, and then we have learned some question how to expand this. In my next lecture, I will be explaining about different properties of determinant, which are very, very important. And these properties are little lengthy, but then once you become master of this, then you can play with the concept of determinant and you can solve question in very countable number of steps. Very easily you can solve it. So my dear students, assignment related with this determinant is already uploaded. I expect each one of you to download, complete and send back to me. This is a part of your periodic test 1 internal assessment. Everyone has to do that. Please finish it. Thank you.